Welcome to the Produce Industry Podcast, your weekly download on current events, trends, market reports, and community discussions. Join us each week from Tampa, Florida, as we cover all aspects of the produce supply chain industry. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, my boy, the voice of the produce industry, Patrick Kelly.
Hey, produce people, welcome back to the Produce Industry Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Kelly, also known as A Lil Citrus, coming to you live from Tampa, Florida, everyone, right here in the Ag Life Media Studios and here, home of the Produce Industry Network, bringing you weekly people, products, and the passion that makes this industry thrive. Now, everyone get ready because we are going to peel back the label on something we all think we know today. I know, right? But as always, before we get started, okay, a couple announcements, okay? And I always talk about like trade show season. Like it's crazy to say like all year is trade show season. But right now, like between August and October, it's completely mashed right now. So we have August 19th through the 20th. We've got the NEPC show, New England Produce Council, NEPC by the Sea, in Boston, Massachusetts. And then the Florida Fruit and Vegetable Association. This will be a first-time event for me, but they're having their annual show in Orlando, Florida, September 8th through the 10th. And then that very same week, we've got the SEPC Southern Innovations Show, September 11th through the 14th. Wow. Because now we're going to the end of September. And then we have Fruit Attraction in Madrid, September 30th to October 1st. And yes, we will be there. Juanita Gallio, our Global Fresh series, will be at the show, representing with Julie Escobar and the Global Women Fresh group. We are partnered with Global Women Fresh this year at Fruit Madrid. So look all things for the Global Fresh series and Global Women Fresh. And then the big IFPA show. Can you see why I keep saying this is trade show season, everyone? Like you're thinking to yourself, like, wait, what? This is a lot. There's probably some I'm even missing, okay? Big show is October 16th through the 18th. And we are going to have a time there. You're going to see a lot of great sponsors of that show. You're going to have the DRC, the Fruit and Vegetable Dispute Resolution Company, Yo Quiero, Noble Citrus, Golden Star Citrus, and it's going to be a great show. You'll be able to get to meet all of our sponsors at the show because they are there. Now, there's the updates. Holy cow. Woo. Maybe I should take a drink of water after that one. Everyone, we all know this is the craziest time of the year. It's also the biggest time for us to market, advertise our products. We have new seasons starting. There's a lot going on. So make sure you're always repping your product. And speaking of that, of repping your product and having good product, what's the show about today? Well, let me tell you. The title says it all. If you're listening to this episode, you probably already clicked on the title, which is Make It versus Fake It, right? And you're like, what? Yeah, that's right. The truth about fresh juice. And I will tell you, there's a few people that have ruined my experience with juice. And that one of those people is here today, okay? But let me ask you a question for all you listeners out there. So have you ever grabbed a juice labeled fresh at your local grocery store? You probably have. Or have you sipped a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice at your favorite restaurant and wondered, is this really fresh? Well, if you have friends like I have, like Jay Gardner and Brian Framson, you always ask that question, okay? And sometimes to find out the truth really is heartbreaking. So today we're going to dig into that. Make it versus fake it, because not all juice is created equal, everyone, okay? We have Brian Framson of Citrus America, our featured guest today, also a sponsor of the show for over 4 years. Super excited to always work with Brian because it's not always about just, hey, this is why I need to be here. I've heard it over and over. Brian's trying to provide value, not just to the produce department, but to the store, right? And we'll talk a little bit about that. But we are going to be really going into what's really going on in the fresh juices on the store shelves, how food service and retail can differentiate with a real juice program, everyone. How Citrus America's equipment, though, is changing the game. And a couple words I'm going to say is quality and reliability. You know, many times I've walked into stores and they're saying their fresh juice machine is broken. I look at the name and it's not Citrus America, okay? That enhances customer experience all the way around the board. You know it, and I know it. And why the demand for real juice isn't a trend. It's a movement, everyone, okay? We're going to talk a little bit about that. So if you are a produce supplier, a retailer, a food service buyer, someone who loves the real flavor, I would definitely stick around. We're going to hear from one of our sponsors. When we come back, we will introduce Brian after the segment. So stay tuned, and we will be right back.
120 years ago, in Groningen, the Netherlands, a small produce business began, trading fresh local fruits. By the 1930s, the Vandenberg family moved to Rotterdam, Europe's burgeoning fruit hub. But when the 1940s brought turmoil, they fled to America, rebuilding their legacy in fresh produce. In 1958, Jack Vandenberg became a trailblazer, importing fresh Chilean fruit to the US, opening doors to global flavors. Today, that spirit of growth and innovation continues, with sustainable packaging, carbon footprint tracking, and the finest fruit varieties. We're redefining freshness for the future. Family, fresh, innovation, celebrating a legacy 120 years in the making. This is Jack Vandenberg.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Produce Industry Podcast. It's always great to hear from Dynamite sponsors creating dynamite content for the produce and supply chain industry. Everyone, I know you're ready for the show. I know you are, because we're going to have a little bit of fun talking with Brian Framson. But I really want to tell you about Brian before he comes on. He's been on the show, I believe it's been like 2 or 3 times, because Brian has been at the trade shows, so we're able to have more conversation. But he's only been in the studio one time. So joining me today, obviously, and we'll bring him on in just a second, is Brian Framson, the CEO of Citrus America. Now, this equipment, as I say, and you've seen it, is a leader in premium juicing solutions. The equipment, his company, they're helping operators across the U.S. transform the way you even think about juice. I said that, one person that made me look at juice differently was Brian. Okay, he's ruined my experience with juice because I was so used to just getting heartburn all the time, and I was like, no, I love orange juice. I'm going to keep giving myself heartburn day after day, and then I realized the truth about it. And Brian and his team have spent the last decade helping grocery stores, restaurants, and juice bars make it, not fake it. And the company's been around for over 15 years now. So it's a joy to see. I've been knowing Brian for the last 5 years. It's a joy to see. And so from innovative citrus juicers that can literally crank out hundreds of glasses an hour, everyone, to multi-fruit solutions that even press pomegranates. And if you have seen my YouTube channel, guess what? We have juiced pomegranates with that juicing machine, and it actually takes out all the seeds, which is even crazier, or the arils, right? I say seeds, but pretty cool there. So Citrus America isn't just selling machines, they're empowering brands to deliver the real thing. So everyone, let's go ahead and welcome my man, Brian Framson.
Well, thank you very much, Patrick. It's great to be here. And I understand, am I breaking in the studio today?
Yeah, listen, we have had guests here, but we rearranged the whole studio. So if you see our bird's eye view, if you're watching, I'm actually sitting and enjoying the conversation. Besides, remember last time you were with me in December? I was kind of the engineer, the producer, the whole deal.
Yeah. Now you got a good team working for you. Things are looking very good.
Listen, I'm okay with that. I'm happy that we're able to serve the community, the produce and supply chain community, and that's what I love the most about this, is that I wouldn't be here if people didn't support me. Now, whether it's sponsorships or not, it's still the people are listening, and we know that. It's not like the podcasts that are getting 10 downloads a day or sometimes a month, right? So I'm very fortunate that our industry, listens day in and day out. So it's been fun to be able to create this.
Yeah, so it's good to be here. It's great. As you said, I've been doing this for 15 years, and it hit me. I was just in Europe, so I'm sure we'll dive into a little bit of that. But I just spent a couple of weeks back in Vienna and other areas of Europe, and I was able to visit the stores that inspired me and then my father to found Citrus America when we did. And it's just been a great month, and now I'm super excited to be here chatting with you about it.
And listen, we chat throughout the year as well, and that's what's kind of funny is that like some of the topics we're talking about today, which is like the make it versus fake it. You had a post a week or two ago on that topic, and we've been talking about that. We were trying to figure out, it was probably last June, and then we talked about it first at the office, the other podcast studio. And then when you were coming back from San Francisco, and then again when you were over in Austria. So, now in a world where convenience is king, okay, everyone, it's easy to assume that fresh means fresh, right? Okay. And that's what's crazy because when I called you one day, I was like, oh, I'm at XYZ restaurant. And you were like, oh, did you know that's not fresh juice? And I was like, it says right on here, freshly squeezed. I think it says like daily, to be honest with you, Brian. Like, I think it literally says daily, but too often, one, it isn't, they don't, or the grocery store, it doesn't, right? It doesn't mean that.
That's right.
And that's what we've been talking about.
That's right. And the reason why they do that is because everybody knows that freshly squeezed juice, freshly cut produce, whatever's fresh sells better. Consumers want fresh. They want to know what they're eating. They want to know what they're drinking. They'd love to know where it's from. Yep. So that's why it's become such a thing. I
love that. What's funny is I worked for a company that had branded labels, and if you look at my resume, LinkedIn, you probably know which one that would be. But it's funny because I used to say that because I'm a citrus guy, right? And remember back in the days, or they still do it, which I think is a great idea. But remember they had the heritage, the vintage. It was like, oh, we've got these 200-year-old trees, right? And you know how that went away. Because there's not that many 200-year-old trees, but then they moved to like high bricks. They moved it. Listen, yes, this is so true. There are 200-year-old trees. Yes, there are high bricks. Yes, there's all of that. But when you're trying to market it as a label, it's really hard, right? Because what happens when, you have a 200-year-old tree, but what happens when the fruit doesn't produce great that year, or it's on a hill that doesn't get as much sunlight or water, right? There's things that can be misleading. And what I say is it's a clever marketing approach, okay? Because you want to get the consumer to know this is the highest sugar, this is the highest bricks, this is quality you can trust, right? Yes. But if it's not done right.
Right. Well, it's quality you can trust. That in the modern day, it's supposed to be consistent.
Correct.
Right? But you want consistent quality. But think about wine, or think about like a red wine or a white wine. There's a lot of different varieties, and they change from year to year. So if you're into fresh juice, it's going to change. Even if you're getting Florida Valencias or California Caracaras, they change from season to season based on the weather. And that's what you're drinking. When you drink fresh juice, you are tasting different seasons and you are tasting different weather patterns. Yeah. And that's what natural is.
Yeah, I agree. And then think about it, like clean labels, transparency. I got some facts here. Again, it's true wellness. Fake freshness just doesn't cut it anymore. And it's so true. And I think with the, even started with the millennial generation, but even Gen Z and then the alpha generation, they want it to be fresh, right? And they're not on the same page as like when we were growing up. We were looking at like a Sunkist soda. We thought it was completely, this is made from Sunkist oranges, this soda. I don't know how they do it, right? And now like the kids, when they see stuff, like my son will be like, no, that's got artificial sweetener in it. Dad, I don't want to have that. My son won't drink Coca-Cola, like dark soda, because he's like, I don't want that dye. So he'll drink like Sprite or ginger ale, even though it's just not as good. But you know what I mean? You get the sense of look how they're judging what they put in their body.
Yeah. When you said a key word, transparency, right?
Yeah,
so
true.
So, to me, transparency is about building trust. If you're transparent about what you're doing and how you're doing it, and you share that with the consumer and you deliver what you tell them you're delivering, you're building trust. And
100%.
Yeah, but for business, that's important because trust means traffic. So the more trust you build with your customers, it means you're going to increase traffic. If they trust you more, they're going to come visit your store more. Yeah. And the opposite is true. If they catch you not telling them the truth, that's also called a lie. If they catch you not telling them the truth, then you just lost points with them, and maybe their loyalty goes down to you. So you get loyalty by building trust.
Oh no, it's 100% true. And now let's talk a little bit about why this matters for grocery stores and restaurants. Everyone, I also want to say this is like I said, a very new setup, like we talked about. If you notice, I even have notes if you're watching the video, because the way this is, and then we actually have Jet Gaston behind the cameras, so you'll see him at trade shows this year as well. I wanted to make note of that. So Jehoon is having his second baby, everyone. So again, if you want to give a shout out to Jehoon, please do send him messages to congratulate him. He's having another baby. He told me not to tell anybody. So breaking the news, G. So Jet will be at the trade shows, and he'll be at the next trade show, which is NEPC. But again, I'm doing something different, trying a little bit differently. And that's why we got notes. And we thought this was cool. Like, let's print notes this time, just to bring up. And because again, everyone, we're not perfect, right, Brian? Like, this is about, sometimes we need some extra kicks. And then that's why, which meaning about what matters, right? Well, Absolutely. The content matters for you guys. So, but let's talk about why this matters for grocery stores and restaurants, because I think that's a big thing that people aren't understanding when it comes to fresh, of why they have heartburn after they just went to a spot that says fresh juiced margaritas or things like that, right? And all of a sudden, you know what I mean?
Well, let's deal with the heartburn one first, and then we'll talk about why it's important, because you just heard me go off on it before.
Know. So. Jet got the third degree from Brian already. I love it.
Yeah. No, and actually what he said was, I used to drink orange juice, but it gives me heartburn. So then I had to explain why.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Yeah, so the heartburn is not coming from acid. So the Brix level or the sugar level of the juice is what makes it sweet. The acid level of the juice is what gives it a little bit of that tanginess or that sourness.
Right.
But it is the peel oil and other peel substances which makes juice bitter. And also some of that is flammable. Like, when you break a peel and you hold a lighter in front of it and you get a little sparkle, that's actually peel oil, and it's flammable. And it burns your lips. It tastes bitter on your tongue. And for some people, when it goes into your stomach, that's what gives people reflux.
Yeah, exactly.
So the processed juices use some of those chemicals to bring back the aroma into the juice. And I'm probably not saying it scientifically the right way, but that's basically
No, there's some juice guy out there that's yelling at him right now. Yeah. But it's okay. They're out well. But it's true. I mean,
and there's some equipment out there which also, it does a lot more tearing of the peel, which one of the reasons why the juice from our machines is so much better than everybody else's is because of the low peel oil in the juice. So reduced bitterness, bitter and sweet compete for the same taste buds. So reduce the bitterness, you've just increased the sweetness without adding sugar.
That's pretty cool. Well, Jet, like, we know you're behind camera. You get it. He gets it now. Can we get a thumbs up from Jet? Is he drinking more orange juice now? Because now he knows he is. It's at the Fresh Market, everyone, if you're here in Tampa. Or in my studio, but he's got to learn how to wash this thing. Right. So
you're making me thirsty.
Well, listen, we did juice earlier, so talk about that, Brian. Talk about why it matters though for grocery stores and restaurants, because for grocery stores and food service operators, it's a major opportunity. We've talked about it. We've had you at shows together. Some people don't think it's an opportunity; they just think it's a cost.
Well, it's a highly competitive market out there. It doesn't matter whether you're running a restaurant or you're running a grocery store, a hotel, an airline. It's competitive. There's price competition going on.
Okay.
But it's not just price, it's value. People are paying you a certain price for a value they think they're getting from you.
Okay.
So if you have to differentiate yourself, or you want to differentiate yourself to generate more traffic into your grocery store, into your restaurant, you need to do something that stands out. One of the ways to do that is with a fresh juice program, which then turns it into, in the grocery store, fresh juice. But as you saw today, we were walking through the grocery store, and they're doing fresh grapefruit juice. They're making a fresh lemonade.
They had a lot.
Yeah, fresh lemonade too. They started on a lemonade program, which is fantastic. We coached them on that, and they're doing an amazing job of it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Caracaras.
There was Caracaras.
You need to get on that blood orange deal.
Yeah.
There's a company that's coming out with a blood orange. It's cold pressed though. And it's a brand that everybody knows.
Right.
And they were at IFPA last year promoting it to a lot of the retailers.
Right. Well, our juice is actually cold pressed, right? It's just pressed juice.
No, it's but it's not done there. Yeah. Theirs is going to be done off site somewhere.
Yep. But we can do blood orange. In fact,
we need blood orange.
Jay Gardner's got a great recipe. He called it spiked bloody lemonade. So you make fresh lemon juice, make lemonade, add whatever your favorite ingredient might be, like Tito's or something, and then hit it with a shot of blood orange juice on top. It is a great
Just
cocktail.
a shot of blood. Or listen, I do it without the alcohol. As crazy
Yeah,
as crazy as that is.
Pull the Tito's and put in a double shot of blood orange
double
juice.
shot.
But think about just to the restaurant. So go back to the restaurant industry.
Okay.
If you're running a restaurant and you've got cocktails and you're making fresh cocktails using the best ingredients, you've got to be using fresh juice. If it's a, let's say it's a margarita, then you want fresh lime juice. If you're doing sours, you want lemon and lime juice. If you're doing screwdrivers or mimosas, you want fresh orange juice.
Yeah, 100%. You do.
Right.
Right. If not, you might get some heartburn. It might not be from the tequila.
Right.
It really might be from all the citric acid and peel oil and everything else. Right.
Right. And it's about the show.
Think about that.
So
think about that.
yeah, right. And when you go into the bar and if you actually see a juicer there and you see that they're making fresh juice,
Get a drink.
right? And then the last bit, depends. Not everyone drinks. Not everyone wants to drink. Somebody's going to be driving, or you've got underage
True.
people. I always say this: just because you don't drink doesn't mean you don't deserve a good drink.
I agree.
So
I agree.
So
Well, Jay had me go to was it like there's like a taco place you guys are in or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the name.
It was our friends probably at Agave Azul.
Yes. And I remember I was in a way, Jay was like, hey, you need to go to this restaurant. And I was like, I don't drink though. He's like, I got a regular mixed drink, but it was with no alcohol, right?
Right.
But it was all of the fresh juice. And I was like, holy cow. And this was like $9 drinks just for fresh juice.
Right.
I bought 2 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, I had 2 different kinds. So I think one of them was like a citrus mix, right? And then one had other like purees and juices in it. But it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like legitimately.
Oh yeah.
And then go pay for that. Like if you're going to pay $12, because remember, are you paying $12 just to get messed up? Are you paying $12 to have your favorite drink? And right? I mean,
you want to enjoy the cocktail.
You enjoy it.
Right.
And for me, I don't drink. So I even that enjoying a fresh drink instead of paying $5 for the lemon. You know what I mean? Like, do you have lemonade? And they're like, yes. I'm like, whoa. Do you guys have lemonade out of here, right? Or you guys give it? No. It's Pepsi lemonade. You're like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
You're like count me out of that, right?
Yeah. And then you talk about Mexican restaurants, but recently we've been working with Peruvian restaurants, and the Peruvian restaurants are not only using the lime juice for their cocktails,
Right.
but they're actually using it as a key ingredient for their ceviche.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we love it. We love it. We love helping
I
people
love it.
be creative.
I love it too. Well, listen, let's take another quick break. We're here for one of our sponsors, and then we're going to get back and we're going to talk about some challenges and solutions. We're going to talk a little bit about where we've seen each other this year and some of the things we're involved in and some key takeaways, and then end the show. So we'll be right back, everyone.
Zeg Technical Services, we do many things. Managed services for IT needs, including consulting. Another area of expertise for us is cybersecurity, making sure that there's awareness and risk prevention. And then the final piece is the data and software services, where whether it's software automation, data management, even AI, we have things that we can do to help your business. Those are core components that your company relies on. So we have a rich history of being able to manage these IT services so that you don't have to worry about them. You trust us so that we keep your operations going and your business going ultimately. When we talk about what AI can do for you and the time savings, even though you don't think you have something that you can just put AI in, you probably do if you have a business case that could be benefited from automation or efficiencies that are brought in. We can trust AI to do those things, and the beauty of that is you can free up time for your employees to do more meaningful work. So even if you think you may not benefit, I think it's worth a conversation because you will be surprised. We'll walk you through every step of the way, and we're here to help.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Produce Industry Podcast. Always great to hear from Dynamite sponsors creating dynamite content for the produce and supply chain industry. If you're just joining us, listen, go ahead, rewind it, start from the beginning, restart it, because you got to listen to the full episode talking about make it or fake it, and why grocery stores and restaurants need to level up their game when it comes to equipment, technology in their citrus department and more departments, everyone. Our featured guest, Brian Framson. Thank you for joining us. Hey,
I got to choose.
that scared me. I didn't know we had an audience here. Thank you. I appreciate you. We're like the Friends like scene. Like they applause everyone.
I love it. Love it.
Oh man. Listen, you're so right. Like make it or fake it, and why grocery stores should be using this, why restaurants should be, one, healthy, 100%, two, healthy profit margins, right? When you can use healthy in those two aspects, it sounds good to me. But let's talk about some challenges, because we know there's challenges out there in this space. We know there's solutions, and let's be real, fresh juice is hard, I'd say, without the right tools. Okay, labor, hygiene, food safety, shelf life. It's a puzzle, right? And we've talked about this, Brian, with other retailers of why they don't bring in the juicer, and they're it's not saying they're dumb because they don't, but they're just missing out on a really critical opportunity. So if there was a way to make fresh juice fast, consistently, safely, I mean, isn't this the way to do it? Right? So let's talk about some of the challenges and solutions.
Well, absolutely. So there's a way to do it fast, safe, so it's the best taste, best experience.
Right.
That's what we're all about. One thing is, people ask, well, maybe how come they're not doing it now? And the truth is, they may have already had a failed juice program.
I agree.
So we've got plenty of customers who have failed at juicing in the past, not with our stuff, not with our strategies, but in a prior life, they failed. That's where we come in. We help them.
Right.
The other thing is they might not think they have the labor for it. So there's a perception that, oh, I don't have the labor for this, right? We'll get to that. And then the last one is they might not even know about it. They might have never thought about it. So we love it when we're at a food show, we're doing a trade show, whether it's a restaurant show or a grocery show, and they see us and they're like, oh my goodness, I've never seen anything like this before. And then they taste the juice.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh my God, I got to have this.
I remember the first time tasting the juice.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yep. And there was one particular grocery show that we did where it was very family oriented. So the owners, it was a small grocery store show, and lots of family run grocery stores were there.
Right.
So their kids are there. So the kids are coming by our booth, and one young lady, she was probably 12 or 13 years old. She drank it and she's like, oh my God. And about 20 minutes later, she was back with her parents who run the grocery stores, a chain of them. And we sold them a juicer that day, right? Because they realized the kids want that juice.
They do.
Yeah.
And we've seen it at trade shows that, that kids that they're the ones that keep coming back, like, hey, let's get more fresh juice. Oh, let's get more fresh juice. I've seen that at some of these family oriented shows we've been to. And even when I pull out the juicer, if I bring home fresh juice, they're like, what? They're like, you used the juicer today?
Yeah.
Like my kids even, still get excited about that. So I love that. And then this, we've talked about equipment too. The bad experience, there's a lot of equipment out there that's it's just not made right. And then there's bad programs for technical support, right? So that's interesting. And it's funny because I've had my juicer break down on me, right? And I say break down, and Jay goes, it's not called breaking down, right? Sometimes it's the user error, right? If something's not screwed in the right way,
right,
or if something's not put on, but nothing is broken on my Citrus America juicer at all in 4 years I've had this thing.
Right. And we've got detection switches on there that most of them are magnet run, where if you don't have a part in place, it won't run.
Right.
Because that would break it. If it were to
that's
run
what I did. That's
yeah.
what happened to me. So I've called technical support, and they've literally been like, I was like, oh, it's broken, this piece. It's got to this. And then all of a sudden I'm like, nope, press here. Boom. You had this. Boom. Is it working? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, it is.
Yeah. We've got customers. We've got a few customers who call us more frequently, and it's usually it's a user error, right?
So there's, like you said, I love that your team has those solutions for the equipment.
Absolutely.
And again, some of the equipment that is out there, again, I've seen it when I've walked into a store and it's not your juicer.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, perfect fresh juice, because I see it, right? Hey, you've seen it. You've seen the juicers, and then you go up and what fresh juice, and they're like, "Oh, it's broken. It's not there." It's like when your kids go to, hey, we want ice cream. You're like, you know what? We'll run through McDonald's for ice cream, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, the ice cream machine's down.
Yeah, well,
which is all the time,
right? Well, which is frequently, right? So, and that's what got us started. So we just talked about, I was in Europe now, and I was just visiting some of the original stores that I was at. They're still juicing.
Yeah.
Not only are they juicing orange juice, they're now juicing orange juice and pomegranates in the same store. But back then, my father and I got involved, and we tried to figure out why were these juicing programs not working. And it was like you said, they didn't have a strategy for it. They just sort of said, "Oh, let's juice," but they didn't think about it.
They didn't realize there was a cost per square foot, and they put these juicers in, and they didn't realize what to do with them. They just put it there.
They just put it there. They didn't, and then that's what happened. They didn't have the right equipment.
Yeah, that's
right?
so true.
So that's and the 5 things that we found then, which I'll go through right now, they still apply. So when we go
what are they?
So it's no strategy for juicing.
Okay.
It's poor or weak equipment.
Okay.
Right. It's not good partners, so they're not getting support and training that they need.
All right.
So it's technical support and training.
Okay.
It's weak merchandising, knowing what package size, pricing, the whole marketing strategy behind it.
Okay.
And then the last one is, believe it or not, you have to think about it. What's your sourcing strategy?
That's important.
How are you getting your fruit? What fruit are you getting?
We've had times on that back in the days, people would say, "Oh, we don't have the oranges for the juicing program."
Right.
So yeah, I like that. Now we've got some juice here, everyone, and we talked about it already. It's a South African navel and a South African mandarin. Or you can say a clementine. It turned out really good.
It's
really sweet.
Yeah, it's very good.
I mean, it's no Juicy Crunch tangerine, but but very sweet. I love it. How do you like that glass? We made those glasses this year, the history of fresh produce.
I love it. And I love listening to the show. It's very educational and entertaining.
Yeah, even though he told us it was a hard one to listen to. A lot of our subjects, we border the line of like history, right? And history's tough, man.
History can be tough.
It can be tough. And we've had people reach out to us and it's like, "Hey, you said this wrong. Please, address it this way." And we're like, "Hey, we get it. Please, let us know." But that's a very, we love doing the history of fresh produce. It's very fun.
Right. But just to go back, we were talking about seasonality before, right? Changing of stuff. The fact that we're drinking a mix right now of South African navel and mandarin, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So if you're a grocery store or you're a restaurant, you don't want to run away from it. You don't want to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, my juice doesn't taste the same this month as it did last month."
It's okay.
You advertise it. You say, "Hey, guess what, folks? We got blood oranges in this month, or we got Juicy Crunch, right? When Noble Juicy Crunch are in, right? That they're amazing, right?
It's nothing better,
right?
I mean, seriously, you're so right. I mean, and that's what you want. So again, there's a lot going on in the industry with tariffs. Hey, we get it, but that's why we all need to lobby. We need to write our officials, right, local, state, and at the federal level, because these are things we gotta get in place. Because what I hate to see is, I went to 3 different grocery stores before Brian came down here, trying to find oranges, right? And we want to make sure there's citrus on the shelf all year long, because look, there is healthy profit in the stores and in the juicers, right, Brian, right?
Absolutely.
And so when we have these huge tariffs on certain products, they make it less profitable for everyone, and it hikes up the price to the consumer. So I love that. Like I was going to say a key takeaway, but Brian jumped in with that key takeaway already. I mean, it's really good. And I think that as we move forward, a lot of things are happening right now, right? So I think we're navigating a tough time. I don't want to get into tariffs right now, because everything can change within a month, 2 months, 3 months. But right now it's kicking a lot of people's butts. But I say what we're fortunate about is, we got to be at the NGA show together, which I loved, because again, we're all having a tough time. It's not out there to say, woe is me, but it gives you a chance to be in front of your clients, your customers, selling, but also telling them the reality of the business, right?
Right.
Telling them what's going on.
Well, you hear about their challenges.
Yeah.
And it gives us an opportunity to, not only with our juicing program, but we're getting into other products.
Right.
But it gives us an opportunity to hear what challenges they're facing and how can we help them.
Exactly.
And you've said it, because it's one of my favorite terms that we came up with and saying it for years, healthy profits.
Yeah.
So how
that's
can we help
that's
you?
yours. Yeah. Citrus America, healthy profits,
Healthy
right?
profits, right.
But NGA show was fun. I got to moderate a panel within Power Fresh, which is about AI, about technology in the produce department with ordering and helping out. So I love being able to, just like I said, help move our industry forward and grow together, right?
Yeah. And that was a great panel. I've actually shared a few stories with some people now.
Yeah.
The idea that you could actually have a drone eventually flying through your produce department, and then using AI from your partners, I forget their name.
Empower Fresh.
Helping the team do a better job of ordering, reduce shrink, right? It's also labor saving, right? That's where I come in. Because now the question is, okay, so you're saving some labor by doing these things more efficiently.
Yeah.
So you have a choice. Do you cut the labor, save money? That's one way, right?
Yep.
I say no.
No.
You take that labor you put it back into a value-added program, right? So fresh cut fruit. Everyone loves fresh cut pineapple.
Of course.
People love berries when they're packed. They love the fruit cups or orange juice, right?
Yeah.
Fresh orange juice is no different than fresh cup programs
It's
in a
true.
grocery store. It's just using a machine to do it very efficiently.
Okay.
So taking AI, right, is great. You save money, you end up reducing waste, but now you put that money back in to add value, and your store can differentiate itself versus the competition.
100%. And the last thing I'm going to say is data and analytics. By being able to have those reports, you know, a lot of times I even talked to my dad about this when he was in the grocery store. It's like you're writing everything down in the notebook. I talked about that in my talk too when I was moderating. I was like, listen, we all know this. We have these little notebooks inside of our pockets.
I still have them.
Right? So do I. But what I'm saying is that you can't be accurate in data collection when you're trying to write everything. Oh, I went and grabbed 3 boxes from the back. I went, oh, wait, was that Sunkist label or was that Golden Stars label? Like, right? Like this does a lot more, right? And that's what we need, right? I mean, I've even seen opportunities of how to actually control quality of fruit. So you put a ping pong ball, it scans it, and then the reference of the ping pong ball tells you the size, the shape, the circumference. Wow. So stuff like that's pretty cool. And there's, I think that was Clara Fruit that does that. Mm-hmm. You should check that out if you haven't seen that yet. And then all you got to do is take a picture, and the AI analyzes everything else. Wow. Right? Really cool. Everyone, we're wrapping up. Brian, I appreciate you coming to the studio today. I also wanted, it's funny because I have this as well. I have my Bo Jackson Bo 3.0, and this one is blood orange lemonade. Right. Okay, how cool is that, right?
That's cool.
I told Bo, I said, listen, you did the right flavors, I said, because this one's one of my favorite is the blood orange tangerine, right? I'm just saying, I mean, if we're doing oranges, and go ahead, tell them about your hat while we're at it.
Oh yeah, so cool hat. Actually, my wife was traveling. She saw the hat, and the orange color of this hat. It's from a dye company that's getting the orange dyes from orange peels.
From orange peels.
Yeah. So they're recycling orange waste to turn it into dyes for jeans and other clothing.
And you'll love this. Bo 3.0, all plant-based. Nice. So the powder that they get this from, all from citrus, right through those things. They grind. It's a weird how they do it. It's like grinded down, it's like processed, freeze, and it turns it into powder, but plant-based. So everyone, thank you so much for joining the Produce Industry Podcast with our featured guest, Brian Framson. And as I say, we'll see you in the fields or on the horizon.